Nobody's freaking outside other than people who are, for the most part, so this homeless car. Not saying homeless car, it's just a lot of people who grouped in together who were homeless, who were at the corner. They was kind of asleep, but I guess Luna and myself got a little bit too rambunctiously noisy, and they got nervous and they rotated, which makes sense, since that's what you do, because you don't want to get arrested. Um, by the way, sleeping in your car is actually illegal. Um, I don't really know how, but yeah, I found that out. Found that out, and it almost was like a definite, almost a hard lesson. Um, but there's ways around it. I'm not gonna tell you guys like on here ways around it either, because yeah, I'm not trying to break the law. Um, Wait a minute, did you see that gargoyle? They got a gargoyle on top of. I don't know. Yeah, you probably can't see it. They have this gargoyle. Let me see. I just noticed that they had this gargoyle on top of this building. Weird. That thing is alive. And it's the only one there. It's no other sculptures or anything, but it's a little gargoyle. I thought it was a tree at first, but it's definitely a little sculpture. I thought it was a tree at first, but it's definitely a little sculpture, like gargoyle thing. I don't know what people think things are like gardens and protect this thing. You see, really can see the end of the year. Really, no one is out. Um, for me, this is the best time for the land. No. Sorry, you guys. I don't even know why this is not connecting. I have no idea. Hold on. Wait a minute, Lulu. Hold on. Hold on, girlie. I don't know. Give me 1 second. I just want to switch hands to where I'm holding her. Because this girl will get rambunctious. Usually I just let her walk without a leash, but since I'm recording and I'm looking at the camera a lot, I'm not going to try it. Not on the street. So, yeah, that's one of, like I was saying before, that's one of the good things that you don't have to be congested and on top of people like society has trained us in a lot of places, and I'm glad I don't live in the huge cities like New York and things like that, even though I miss New York and Chicago and I miss the big city life. Um, but during this time, you can say it is a blessing to not be in one of those places right now, so which is all good for me. Look, which is all good for me. So, um, yeah, but I'm just gonna give you guys the. I don't know where this person came from. Oh, yes, I do. From the other loft. She just got that car too. Fresh. Okay. I hope they take this down, but I know it's gonna be a whole nother week before they do that. Before they unplug that. Which I'm just trying to wonder how are we still able, if we're in so much of, this deficit, why do we still have all these lights on? Shouldn't we be conserving? I don't know. Oh my goodness. They just gave us another tower. Dude. It's not reading nothing. They ain't even turned it on yet. It's time to move. Um, that's kind of weird. I don't know if you guys had those tower thingies, but we had another 5G tower that's going up. Some people gonna say that's cool. Um, I ain't gonna say that's cool. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, okay? Y'all, I've been getting crazy headaches, all this other stuff. I literally had to do some changes into the design of my area, okay, to say the least. So I am not really excited about that. Not only that, even though my place is very nice, I don't get that time to really recuperate, like to relax from it because of everything is. Um, those wavelengths, they make a difference. Okay, they make a freaking difference. I'm just gonna leave it at that because this is not a. They need to fix that. PNC, y'all making too much money. Y'all making too much money. Let's get it together. And you ain't in the city, so no need for that to be looking like that. Y'all got stupid money here. Um, yeah. So anywho, back to what I was talking about. Um, I just wanted to give a end of the year walkthrough. Um, I have to early plan, which is on a good note. I have to early plan about how I'm going to make my next three. Um, don't. Oh, here they go playing that music. They're still playing Christmas music, y'all. Yeah, city of churches. Um, but what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I have to make my three next plans of how do I drop off these blankets? How do I drop, where I'm gonna have the next drop off because, like I told you guys before, I can't have it at the same spot. Okay, it's just dumb. Okay, and when people are expecting you, it's dumb on my part for my safety, and it's dumb for the safety of those people who are living on the street. Okay, because you don't want other people, if they see you and they know what you're doing, people can follow other people, they get attacked, that some of that stuff is bound to happen. There are predators out here, they prey on the weak. They really, really do. And um I'm not going to say me being a woman is weak, but compared to somebody who is bigger, it could be a man or a woman. I'm only 167, and I'm on the heavier side, I think. And I'm still no competition for someone who has a body mass twice as mine or is taller than me with more, depth. I might be able to hold my own, but at the end of the day, it only takes one or two knock hits and I'm gone. From the right person, maybe one. Maybe one, and I'm Stromboli. Like, so, um, it's very dangerous for me. Also, you can have people who don't trust you or don't know. I do have a really good connection with the people that I serve. And like I said, that's a blessing because a lot of those people watch out for me when the authorities don't. Most of the authorities don't even know, or they know that I'm connected with the institution, but they don't know. To an extent. So I keep saying sounding like my mom. So um, yeah, it's a definite threat. And then, like I said, if it's people who, they're getting these services, some people follow them and watch them to where they're going. You know, the main thing for me is to be safe for both parties, but to get them the tools that they need to fight the elements. People always will say, well, if they're on the street, they can go to these shelter and this shelter, and there's so much help out here. And it's like, yes, but homelessness is on a whole different, broader scale, and especially dealing with this place, which is called the Summit City, and also the City of Churches, where they say that they're known for having a church on every city. I mean, a church on every city, a church on every corner. Um, Downtown, not so much, but they're very close. It's churches everywhere. Okay, but if you live in like Chicago or anywhere in Indiana, for the most part, you're gonna see churches everywhere. You're gonna see churches every single corner. So, um, I don't know, but they're known as the city of churches. But if you're thinking that way, you have that, church mindset or a biblical mindset. All these churches are not biblical too, like are not Christian. All of them are not Christian, but anything you can think of is here. Um, when if you're thinking of that, you got to understand, just like I told this gentleman about, how Jesus was, feeding the multitude. You know, Christ was coming to give them something deeper, but they were on a basic level. And Jesus, God wanted that. He took care of their basic needs first. They were walking. He was like, they're going to be hungry. Let me feed them. Let me feed them, you know. We should feed these people. They've been following us so long, you know. Let's feed them. He took care of the outward need, the main need first before feeding them the knowledge of life, you know, the words that he spoke. He fed them. So that's the same thing that I feel about, you know, doing a lot of missionary work. You know, that's it's not, you know, yeah, you're sharing the love of God and you're trying to get them to get better, you know, especially if someone's in outside homeless and you're trying to get them to get to a better place. But you got to start at where they're at. You can't just assume, oh yeah, well just go to the shelter. Sometimes it's not always that simple. Um, and I've had instances like that dealing with my mother. I have instances like that dealing with myself, and I don't even have a mental illness. Okay. Um, Sometimes people can be very manipulative. You know, we don't want to look at that. We don't want to talk about that. But people can be very manipulative in this system. Yeah, people who are manipulative, they're very manipulative and they're therapists and counselors and all that other stuff. And I've been through a lot. I know that was God guiding me and protecting me from the harm because it could be with a drop of a pen and you know you came in there for one thing and they turned it into something totally different, y'all. I've seen it happen. I almost had it happen to me until God allowed some other people to get in connection with me to overturn some things and make things balance. So, um, yeah, back to what I was saying. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. You gotta help people from where they're at, and it's different. It's so many different levels to this. It's so many different facets to this, where people don't even get to see. Y'all just gonna move into this building too. Now I'm kind of happy that I didn't, just because how everything is kicking off. Um, Shoot, but they ain't got no tower right here. But then they right by the library, so yeah. So um, basically, that's why I'm looking for, you know, just scouting out the area, seeing what's going on. You don't see nobody even sleep on the what's the name, on the stoops or anything. They did a huge clean sweep. So yeah, but while I have you guys on here, I'm gonna tell you this. I know tomorrow, next year is going to be great for a lot of people. I knew, you know, God was telling me that He was moving me into a different dimension, how He was shifting me. He even had me to change up my look. Um, Started telling me to dress back up more, go back and do certain things, and how things turned out, you know, better, better than expected. See one person. I'm gonna have to go back. I don't know if y'all can. I'm not gonna try to go too deep, but he's down towards this way. But I don't know. I have to kind of assess the situation because I don't know if he um, has been in the elements, you know, out in the elements for a minute. You just don't know that from afar. You don't know if he's been kicked out of a shelter because, you know, maybe intoxication. Here at this location, if you are intoxicated, which is I don't know, y'all, it's backwards to me because if you're dealing with addictions and you have a drug or alcohol addiction, you know, they'll take you. Well, matter of fact, I've never heard, I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of a gentleman or a woman in any of these places say that when they went to the shelters that had the addictions, that they have been kicked out for their addictions if it was something drug related. It's always alcohol. It's always alcohol, y'all. And that just for the life of me, I can't get it because that's the main reason why they said that they're in there. You know, it wasn't like homelessness because they just lost a job. This is the thing that you're supposed to be battling and helping them out with. So, um, And I know it's different levels, and you have to put it in and stop to something that's habitual and repetitive. But some of those ways, sometimes it's like a first strike thing, and you're out. So people end up, feeling like they don't have hope. So then they get into things deeper. And then it's even harder when you go deep and you fall back, starting getting back up on that horse after being saying, no, you got to wait 60 days. And you're out here. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to fall back, pray to what you're trying to run from, because that's all you know. And you just try to do something different, and now you can't. And that was your help. That was your lifeline. Um, so, whew, okay. Um, so yeah, I don't know why he's over there. So I will definitely have to go back and assist again. He did not. He did have a coat on. It was kind of puffy. I don't know if it was wet or not. Of course, I'm like out here on the other side. So I honestly don't know if um, if that is at least satisfactory. That will. I know he won't be. He's fine now. But if it's cold, it's a little chilly. If it gets a little bit colder, and say for instance it's wet, you can definitely get sick from frost out here and die from the cold. Even though it feels kind of like cold, that little chilly nip, but it's a little bit past the chilly. Though that's like pneumonia weather. So um, that's something to look at there. Also, if you are homeless, one of the main things you got to cover is what? Your feet. Because your feet is very important during that time. You got to make sure they clean. Make sure a lot of people who are homeless not thinking about that. You got to make sure they are dry. Okay? Dry. Because if you get wet, then you can get fungus. You can, you know, just a lot of that. I had a That's a whole nother story. I'll probably talk about that later. But yeah, it's not friendly. It's not fun. Um, yeah. So, um, oh goodness, hands are getting a little chilly. I should have wore some gloves. Um, yeah, I forgot what I was even talking about. Dealing with the guy. Oh yeah, I had to find a little spot. I know while I'm looking for that. Um, what was I talking about? Other than the guy and the elements and people. Oh yeah, I was talking about, not letting people know, certain locations. I talked about that. Um, it is also imperative. I think I've had so much success because I have tried to let the work speak for itself. I try not to do things very publicly. Not to say that I wouldn't get help. I know for sure I probably would get twice as much more help. But we're definitely effective in the capacity that we want to be. It's always room for growth. But I've learned that when you pray about it, let God do it, and don't look for everybody to latch on real quick. You can do so much more. Um, with this group, it started out in Fort Wayne. Now it's 3 actual cities that come together at this point, and I don't think that would have ever happened had I been super broadcasty and said, or went to the cities itself, and went to the main, you know, buildings and said, hey, this is what I want to do, and this is what I do, and can you do that? You know, um, Now there are people who call me and say, hey, we want to be a part of this initiative, this coalition, and we need to, it needs to expand. But how I did it was the same way that, God showed me how to deal with my business. Start small. Don't knock off humble beginnings. Do not knock off the small things. Talk to people individual because you get a better quality. You get a better quality when you connect with people who have the true heart of serving and the true heart of doing things. Even with my business, I tried to connect with people who, okay, we're going closer to the south. Even though we're still downtown, we're going closer to the south part, so you're going to see more people towards this area. So Just want to let you guys know, FYI. So, um, yeah, with my business, I connected with people who were like-minded. Didn't start out that way, but I did go door to door. I gave people information. A lot of people said no, but after that, I targeted people. Out of those people, I started finding out who was like-minded and stayed with that and worked on that. I didn't try to expand you know just going any kind of way. I just really just niched in and targeted my audience, because truth be told, there are people who don't like the work that I do. They don't like it at all. Some people think that a lot of these people are lazy. Um, I'm not going to knock that, because sometimes I used to think that too, until I went through the whole process. And then you see how, it is very difficult to do things like get a job, or, finding places when they find out that you're homeless, and they find out, see, the way I know with for me, when I dealt with it, the way that they found out I was homeless is because of the address. If you use the shelter's address, that's like suicide. So, mixed use potential, 8.3 acres. They gonna make some more apartments. They about the apartment size this place up. It is not gonna be cute. Um, so, um, yeah, it's very, very much difficult. Very, 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 very much difficult to get that and to do those types of things. I wonder, is it 5 o'clock? I guess it is 5 o'clock. Come on. That's not your job. That just you in somebody else's business now. Um. So. Um. Uh-oh. So yeah, that's basically um why I don't go out, and I just do niche marketing. One on one. Some people forget about the big things. We have a lot of technology, and we have a lot of things like that, and these platforms and things are good, but it's nothing like making hand on hand, face to face interactions, and making those soft connections. Well, I think it's hard connections. They say it's soft, but I honestly believe that's hard connections, because you're making face to face. And when I say hard, they're more solid versus a but they state it as reverse. So, um, yeah, I've gotten through a lot of doors by making face to face and hard contact interactions versus doing things online, doing things the new way, as we say, because truth be told, there's an educational gap as far as technology and the people who hold the power in these areas. They've been in there 20, 30, 40, some of them 50 plus years, and technology is not their strongest point. They have all the wisdom as far as going about doing things like this, because they've been in the elements, they've done all the work, but they don't have that connection to go and grasp and reach out to those people who are um, tech savvy, or people who are my age, who do have the skills, who are trying to integrate into there. So when you okay, let's go this way. When you don't have that, come on, choo. I just don't know. That was just a weird feeling, y'all. Just weird. When I say weird, I don't know. When I usually get those feelings, that means people are up to no good, and they turn them back around. Where did they turn it to? Don't know. Don't even care. Um, but like I was saying, because of that educational gap, that gap in technology, a lot of opportunities are missed. A lot of opportunities are missed, and that is one of my strongest gifts, is making bridge connections, especially with diverse backgrounds and ages, and y'all, telling you, I'm so good at it. When I say I'm so good at it, I'm so good at it. So, um, yeah, and it has definitely worked out for me. It has placed me in arenas. It has placed me in arenas that I didn't have, I couldn't get in. I wouldn't say I wouldn't have any business in because God made it that way that it happened as so. So I don't deny God anymore. But it has placed me in arenas where I wasn't educated enough to go into, or I didn't have the standard qualifications for. But because I had the connections, and because I showed off my talents, and because I had that experience, and to make those hard connections, some of them I didn't even have the experience. I was able to make the hard connection, and they saw potential in me. And that was the difference between seeing potential because in someone who was qualified, who had the paperwork, the master's degrees, the doctorate degrees, versus someone who was like me, who had to do it the hard way. Had to go in and like boom, boom, boom. That was the connection because they saw based off of how I was, how much I was, invested in, how to go about things. So, um, yeah, if I can give any kind of advice, don't always think of technology as a main source. Yes, it helps. Yes, it gives you views. Yes, it gives you insight and things like that. But there are so many people. There are so many people. There are so many businesses who run and they are effective and they are prospering without it. They are prospering without it. Come on, Choo. Currently at this time, now I do have, of course, you have a website, but one of my businesses has no. Come here. One of my businesses has. I'm sorry, y'all. She has dropped. She has got out of her leash. I don't know how, but she is very calm because she's not running down the street or anything. So, not gonna worry too tough about it because I guess she's still waking up since it's like early in the morning. I thought it was like 5 o'clock or something. Um, Come on. No, she ain't looking for nothing. But thank you guys for sticking in this whole time. Um, but yeah, she lost the leash. But anywho, there's so many people, so many establishments that are doing well without the huge social media or the Instagram accounts and the things like that. I literally had a guy who wanted to sponsor me and was like, "Why hadn't I been on Instagram before and had all these things?" Because there was so many other opportunities. There are opportunities that you do miss when you're not always on it. So I know I had to balance that out. But I literally told him the reason. But the good thing is, when you have a quality product, when you're presenting quality, and it's something. When I say quality, it's something that is needed, something that is respected, and something that it is needed. It could be a toothpick. If somebody's got freaking need a toothpick and they got meat in their mouth or they got some kind of food or debris and they can't pick it out, they don't have anything to get it out of, a toothpick is very much essential. Just like a comb, if your hair was all over the place and you wanted to tidy it up and, you needed a comb, or you had a brush and you needed something to refine it, you're going to get a comb. You're going to get a comb and you're going to look for that person. The person who has the comb is going to be resourceful. That's going to be something that you need right then and there. So that is the same exact thing as what you're doing. You have a service, you have a good that is needed, supply and demand. So when that happens, you're gonna find out. You're gonna find it. I done said like 12 times, y'all. There has been times when just engage with your no. Why would somebody? Never mind. I'm not even gonna deal with it. Oh, it is 5. It's 5:18. It's time to go. There have been times when I wasn't on social media and people found me through some of the booklets, the little handmade booklets that I made in the orientation classes that I had to prepare, and they literally found me through an email. You know, I tried to swoop myself off of the media platforms and just close off for a minute, and definitely found me. I was in a whole different location, and then they made it happen. So it's possible when you have a good and you have it's a desire and a need, And I was just like, well, why couldn't you didn't look anywhere else? And he was like, I wanted, this is what I wanted. I couldn't find anything else that was close to it. That's exactly what happened. So your gift will make room for you. So you don't have to have a big, platform and things like that. Even with my Instagram page and my Facebook page, y'all would think that nothing was going on because I only have like 200 people on there, and it just recently became 200. I had like, listen, I went from thousands to 20, and I did that intentionally. Just this time, since I have to have it, because, like I said, I won a pageant. That was part of the process. A lot of the social media things I have to do. Um, so that's why I have it. Other than that, I probably would, you know, and things are expanding. So it's like if you don't have a footprint, um, it only gives you a limitation. It gives you a limited amount of things that you can work with, and people, if you need to travel, in that kind of in the aspect that I'm doing right now, things are getting a little bit bigger. Um, but yeah, don't knock down. I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm just saying what I'm saying is there should never be, because I know people who are like this. There should never be an opportunity or a time where you are doing something in your community or you're doing something that adds value and you've not connected with the people that are in your area. Now, for a time, because, if you got some stuff and you're trying to plan it and you're getting everything done, you don't want to tell everybody. That's cool. But eventually, once you start moving and grooving and thumping and bumping, that's the time when you when you need to go and present. That is the time when you need to show up and to show out. Not the time to retreat or to go other places, because those doors, you'll be surprised at some of those doors that will open up for you, as well. uh, so I think that is about it. Oh yeah, it is very imperative because of the time step that we're in, and I don't want people to get unfocused or unclear about what I'm stating because it all connects. Everything connects to what I was talking about from my previous videos and before. Is dealing with, the principles of God and following His precepts and putting His word above His name, because He tells you exactly in principle, in His word, He tells you about how to set yourself among people, and how to do things, according about business, how to be a proper business person, because you need that, especially if people are going to be, you're going to be over people, meaning you're going to be leading them or helping them get to a certain spot or helping others, or you're doing things. It's a certain protocol that you have to do, that you need to do in order to be successful. Any person that is into business or into hospitality understands that it's not just you, okay? It can be your business, but it's not just because of you. That is the business of being served and serving. Being of service and serving and being served. So it's a flow. It's a flow. Um, so y'all, I hate that little splat little thing by the Chase building. I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me see. Probably not right now. Let me see if I can do it this way. Y'all see it? There's the splat. I hate it. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's like dark mass coming my way. Turn it the other way. I know. Get over it, Bill. But that is about it. As you can see, there was really nobody on the street. I told y'all they was doing a clean sweep. Um, It's this one guy that's actually out here right now, but He's definitely not homeless. No, what the heck he's doing. But his car is on the other side. He's most certainly not homeless. Um, but yeah, you don't see a lot because it's still the holiday time, and tis the season to be nice. But I guarantee y'all, come come the beginning of January, things are gonna get real. Things are gonna get real real soon. So yeah, I'm gonna get off of here. Hopefully, something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned. The Journey to Jerusalem, and thank you so so very much. Bye.